I wouldn't buy one.
I thought you liked it.
I do. But I'm going to outline now a few problems, OK? We'll start with the boot.
There isn't one. I mean, there isn't one. It's under here.
No, there's no point looking. That's your lot. It's basically a sort of baking tray above the engine, really. It's OK if you've got a handful of roast potatoes to carry around with you, but otherwise useless.
Yeah.
However, look at this. This is the Smart Roadster Coupe. Same engine, same roof arrangement, same everything, but if we open the back... Enough space for a whole sack full of King Edwards.
Well, there you go, then. That's your car. What's your problem?
No, won't buy one of these either.
The thing for me is still that gearbox. It's just hopeless. You know, the moment it builds up, the revs rise, you hit the lever and the whole world pauses with you and waits. Nothing happens for so long.
The thing is, it's a gearbox, OK? It has one job to do, one job.
Exactly.
Pull the lever. Am I a pencil? Am I a cauliflower? Am I a nuclear power station? I'm a gearbox! Oh, heavens, I'm swap some cogs around. It takes forever.
Precisely. It's not like it's working through a list. And the problem is you're going to be using it a lot because, obviously, that buzzy little 600cc engine, you're changing gear all the time to do
I was
that.
wrong. Admission time, it's actually a 700cc engine.
Oh, well.
Makes all the difference. It's 0.7 of a litre.
Yeah, that is still very small, and it still has Hugh Grant as a gearbox.
Yeah. It's a pity, really, because we like the Smart, but we think not. The thing is it's not my sort of car. But then we do differ, don't we?
That's why I like it.
Yeah, exactly. You just look at what I say and go, he's wrong.
I looked in Auto Trader and I thought, what wouldn't Jeremy buy out of all these cars? That one.
Yeah, I respect that in a man. I really do.
I think you may be missing an essential point, though, Jeremy.
Comfy, though, but this sort of thing. I like this.
This is the one with the firm suspension, actually.
No, is it really?
Yeah,
the T is for firm suspension.
It's got something rather preposterously called the Harvey Bailey handling kit.
Harvey Bailey didn't know anything about suspension either, by the looks of things.
Despite all that, I think, well, let's say, of all the cars in this studio, this one is actually the cheapest.
No, it's the Smart's cheaper. That's 30. It's £500 cheaper. You can have a Smart. OK, well... Which doesn't do this.
This would have been cheaper. This would have been cheaper if I'd not felt sorry for the bloke who was selling it and haggled a bit more. Then
That's a British disease.
It is a British disease.
Well, I feel really sorry for him, yeah.
Am I right in saying this car is so cool that most people, by which I mean Jeremy, don't realise it yet?
Yeah. OK, hands up if you think it's a cool car. Yes. That's 1, 2, 3. What was particularly good about the Peel is it only had one headlamp.
It did.
So if you're driving down a road and you saw one coming toward you, you think, that's a motorbike. Jesus, it's a car!
In third place, the Vauxhall Vectra.
Obviously, yeah.
I've said. In second place, the Suzuki X90.
I remember road testing that on old Top Gear, and we filmed it all at night, because I didn't want people to see me in it.
Absolutely.
BMW had the best brains in the business. They had this wonderful-looking body. They had the engine from an M5, a trick rear axle. They even got James Bond to drive one. It should have been spectacularly good. But that's just what they were expecting it to be. Instead, it turned out to be awful. Let me show you what it was like to drive. Ah, yes. This is exactly what a Z8 feels like to drive. It's that same sense of, ooh, what's going to happen next? The problem was, they didn't know what they wanted the Z8 to be. Sports car, muscle car, boulevard cruiser. And it's ended up as a sort of brownie green mush of all three. I can't believe how light this door is. You know those little Tykes cars that all kids have? The red ones with the yellow roof door? That's what this feels like. Let's watch this, right? Still, it should pay dividends where it matters. Here. One of the worst things about the old Jag was filling it up. It used to zzz, 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 all the time. This, though, going in smoothly so far. That's a big improvement. I don't think its bonnet is onyx enough. If you are interested in aesthetics, a bit of advice, you've got to either have a Sport or the XJR like I've got here, because if you buy the SE, you get the worst radiator grille in the world. And SEs, the wheels are too narrow on them, so they look pinched, like Joyce Grenfell. Except not just pinched, they've also got that silly grille, so they look like that.
Then the rest of the range does have a problem. Can you do it for us? It's almost exactly like that. Isn't that uncanny? That's incredible, Jeremy.
That is the most... Isn't that a dreadful grill?
It is a disaster.
Just say yes, Jeremy.
I have found a dealer who, for 250 quid, that's 250 quid, will put you the XJR grill on any XJ.
Really?
That kind
Yes.
of admits it's wrong, but I reckon if it's got that standard grill on, I'm afraid with the Jeremy's face grill on it, that's uncool. Sorry, just such a small thing spoils it.
Exactly. Now, would you buy the Jag in preference to anything else?
Yeah, I'm a Jag man, yes.
Yeah, so would I. You?
Well, I definitely wouldn't buy the 7 Series BM. No, it's too ugly. Audi AA isn't quite there yet. S-Class Mercedes...
Merchant banker.
Merchant banker, yeah. Very much a merchant banker's car. So, yeah, I would have the Jag. Now, with most convertibles, the windscreen is sort of here. But this is like a convertible people carrier. Got this huge dashboard that people can play football on. You need binoculars to see if the wipers are working.
And that leaves us with the Ford Street Car. Now, it is a very, very good little car. It does everything it sets out to do, and it does it very well.
Are there any men here who would think of buying this car?
Precisely. Would you? Anybody?
No? OK, now, this being a Top Gear audience, you're all car enthusiasts, so I know you haven't got wives or girlfriends. So you brought your sisters with you. What about the girls? Hands up, all the girls who would like to have this car. Oh, it's sort of, that's why... Are there any girls who wouldn't? You? Well, put your hand up, then. It's not a difficult instruction. It's the trouble, brothers and sisters, they're all related. It's true, I was talking the other day to a guy from Ford. I don't know who he was, wore a suit, had biscuits in meetings. Anyway, he said 80% of these are going to be sold to women. So who's going to buy the other 20%?
It may not be a Ferrari, but, James, I'm with you on this one. I've driven the little Kalisa, and I think it's great. And, you know, I love the little noises it makes. Because that little 3-cylinder engine, brrr, and I even love the clang when you slam the doors.
Yeah.
I like that.
I know, it's a great car
You
with
weren't
new car
strictly
smell.
honest, though, because that's not the £5 grand one, is it?
No, I did come over a bit sort of aspirational at the last minute, and I got the GX with electric windows and two-tone seat upholstery. It's, well, £5,800.
Which is still fantastic.
Brilliant.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's made in a jungle clearing by someone who went to work on an ox.
No, I think you're completely missing the point. I'm siding with him on this one. I think it's a cracking little car. That is a good car.
Well, I can't be bothered to argue anymore. It may well be nice to drive, but I'm going to do a little experiment. I've got the keys for it here, OK? And, OK, you, all right? How do I say it?
Perodua.
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 Perodua. OK, what's this? Perodua Kalisa, eh? Nothing.
Yeah, all right.
Absolutely no response.